world moving so fast, we have forgotten how to stand still. We are always on the go, chasing that next dream, the next high. We have forgotten what it is to do nothing. And we notice burnout is on the rise, we are unhappier than ever, and I notice. Stopping and doing nothing makes me uncomfortable, like I don't quite know what to do with myself.
So this video is as much for me as it is for you. We all know we should take breaks and rest, but what we don't know is how to take a proper break and how to get as much out of the rest that we actually do take. There are 7 types of rest. So saying that you need to rest is just as generic as saying you should do something. It's not helpful. It's not enough. First, there's physical rest, the type of rest we tend to know best. After exercising or a long hard day, our body is aching, everything feels heavy. Physical rest comes in 2 forms, active rest and passive rest. Passive rest being like sleeping or napping. Active rest is taking active action to restore your body. Things like yoga, stretching, massages, or ice baths. Sleep is one of the most important things for physical rest. And because it's been so hot, we haven't been sleeping all that well. So I got some linen sheets. Let's put them on. We gotta find a way to make it stay the same. Second, there is mental rest, the type of rest that we all tend to need the most. In this overstimulating world, our brain is in overdrive and we struggle to slow down. You might be forgetful or having trouble falling asleep or be agitated all day. In contrast to physical rest, mental rest is best found when actually doing something active. For some, it's exercise. For others, it's losing yourself in your creative hobbies.
So we're in Zermatt. It's so beautiful here. It's ridiculous. Jeroen just fell asleep and I did my skincare and I'm going to finish off the night with some journaling. I stole his hoodie. I'm just incredibly comfortable.
Many introverts will know the need for social rest, but even the biggest extroverts need time to recharge. We can't be on socially all the time. It gives away too much of our energy. So we need sometimes to take a step back, to be by ourselves and just taking that time. The next on the list is spiritual rest. And we all need this, not only when you are religious. It's a hard word to say. Spirituality goes so much deeper than just believing. It's a sense of belonging. It's a sense of safety. It's knowing that you give your energy to something that actually fulfills you. A life that is going places. And it partly comes with age and it takes time to figure it out. Building connections with people, with things, with activities, or with a God, if that is your thing. It brings you this feeling of purpose and ease that we all need. Do you sometimes feel agitated for no reason? Like anything anybody does or says might send you off? The light is too bright, the clock is ticking too loud. Somebody's chewing and your skin is on fire. Or that might be my experience as a neurodivergent person, and it isn't so extreme for everybody else. But we all experience constant sensory input and we all need a break from it sometimes. This is sensory rest. These sensory inputs build up in our systems over time until we overflow. So don't forget to turn it all off from time to time. Are you ever exhausted by your own feelings? Then you may be in need of emotional rest. And there's different parts to that. It's on the one hand learning to accept your feelings and emotions for what they are, but on the other hand also having a safe environment to experience those emotions. Holding them in is a lot more exhausting than actually having healthy ways of coping with them. But you need a safe place to do so. And that is where most of us struggle. If you feel like you don't know how to process emotions, or if you don't feel like you have a support system that can help you to do so, then maybe you should have a try at therapy. And no, this video isn't sponsored by BetterHelp, but I do really believe in therapy. It changed my life. I know it changed the life of so many other people around me, and there is no shame in asking for the help you need to live a better and more peaceful life.
I don't take it lightly when I say that therapy changed my life. When I got diagnosed with my burnout, I started going back to therapy, and I didn't expect much of it. Sorry for the curtain. I started discovering so much more about who I was, and it eventually led to a potential autism diagnosis. I've not been tested, so it's not confirmed or anything, but it did help for all of those little pieces to fall back into place. There were parts of my behavior and parts of how I dealt with life that never really made that much sense to me that I can now place. And I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, so let's just get on with the rest of the video. But if you are in doubt whether therapy could be good for you, honestly, just give it a try.
Lastly, there is creative rest. Something that I like to refer to as a lack of inspiration, because it doesn't only apply to creatives. It's that feeling when you're stuck and you can't seem to give any more output. There's no ideas in your head. That means that it is time to take a step back and stop the doing. We are not machines that can just put stuff out all the time. We need input as well. We need inspiration, and it can come from anywhere. It can be taking in art, literature, spending time and having conversations with people that you admire. It can be walks in nature, other cultures while you travel. It's giving yourself the opportunity to learn and to experience, to then turn that into your own story. And those are the 7 types of rest. But how do you effectively apply them then? I have found that it is almost impossible to get all of these types of rest all at once. I find mental rest best when I'm running, and the best creative rest while on vacation and hopping around in different places. But then I come home fully physically exhausted.
Good morning, everyone. Let's attempt to make some improvised coffee. This is good.
So in typical Studio I fashion, I created a system for this. A rotation of breaks and habits. I make sure to address all these types of rest routinely on a weekly basis, in smaller and in larger ways. I do this through my workout routine, getting enough sleep, having quiet nights, but also having moments to connect with people. It's all integrated in my daily habits, which prevents me from falling back into a burnout. But when it comes to actually taking a break, here's what I do. Every single break has to touch on 4 types of rest for me, because getting all of them is basically impossible. So 4 feels like a good balance. A day hiking in Zermatt didn't really touch my physical or emotional rest, but it did touch on creative, mental, sensory, and spiritual rest. So when you take a break, take some time to wonder what it is that you actually need a break from, and what type of nothing is it that you need. I hope that helps you understand that rest isn't just one-dimensional. That means that active rest and passive rest and all these things are just as effective, if not more effective, than just going to lay down on the couch. So let me know in the comments what type of rest you need most and what you're going to implement, because I would love to know. I'm a very curious person. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Toodaloo!